let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Washington Redskins and the Seattle Seahawks. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They'll hand it down to Geis. Room here to run. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and those creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Out to the left here to Reed. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 1st and 10, Smith got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson from 4 yards out. And the Redskins take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny, and he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on 1st down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They go play action here on 1st down. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Breaking that one up, the former All-Pro Josh Norman.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Penny. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time
pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Buying time to his left. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Again, Wilson. It's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Don't take forever, okay? Four down, four down. Watch that.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
On third and goal, Wilson under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Pernell McPhee in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be fourth down.
Third and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts? Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Smith on 3rd down. Complete. Richardson has it. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Room to run inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, Smith. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. On the run, it's Penny. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
95.
They'll run with Penny. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, Go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Got it. Booker T.
Now Wilson on first down. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On second down, Wilson. And Lockett with a grab over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone, as he's got a first down on that last catch.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
95.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Now it's Penny, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now it's Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it. Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On third down, that's Thompson. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reed. 23 yards on the play. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. On first down, it's Smith. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. This is Penny. And some room to roam now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks. We've already punched 2 tickets to the championship round this weekend. We'll get back to you guys and punch a third in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC divisional round game. And it was the Green Bay Packers who will continue on in these playoffs as they knock off the defending Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
On third down, Wilson. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this third quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Now here's Michael Dixon. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. Smith on first down. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run it again with Penny. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now a play fake here on first down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
95, 95. Hey, check 51, check 51.
And they'll run it here. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Hey, check 51, check 51.
Right back to him on first down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Tempo, tempo.
On second down, here's Wilson. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Zach Brown. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. So a lot rides now on the big left leg of Sebastian Janikowski. This for a 4th quarter lead. And Janikowski bangs it through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. Right now, Charles, this is the drive of the season. You're on the road here in the playoffs. It's put up or shut up. They need points.
This is where you have to come together as a team, as you just noted, on the road. So that means they've carried that mentality with them throughout. Hey, we've got to go on the road. We've got to rely on ourselves, right? Focus, yet still find the fun in it. How great is this, guys? Look at the spot we're in right now. And then go to your top players, call them the plays that they run best.
Yeah, sort of controlling their own destiny, but this place has been loud. Not going to be easy. They'll run it now out of the gun. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there. Smith to Dotson, 47 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
This is caught, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Smith. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Tell you what, Brandon, if I see a dime look, if I see 6 defensive backs near the goal line, I'm changing to a running play every time.
And they had 6 there. Surprised he didn't audible at the line?
Very much so. I'm going to count on my offensive line in this situation against the lighter defensive back.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Hopkins with the extra point.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
14.
Now Wilson on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now Wilson on third down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. And I'm going to keep.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Robert Ayers in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. Time for a break. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run with Thompson. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It was Jaron Reed who got him down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Again, a run with Thompson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long. They run it here with Thompson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
95.
He's back to throw. Right back for Marshall. This time it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Again, they were targeting Marshall there, and that'll bring up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. So now a two-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks.
19. Check 50, check 50.
Throwing now is Wilson. That is incomplete. So they're unable to stretch it to a three-point lead. Now you got to be careful on the kickoff because a field goal obviously beats you.
Definitely, and that's why they went for two. They wanted to make sure a field goal wouldn't beat them. Now they're in a position where they've got to cover well and make sure they don't get into range and put one through the posts.
Out to kick is Janikowski. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks defense heads back out there now. And everything's going to rest on this drive. Can they keep them out of field goal range, because a field goal would win it?
So now you're in that position of you can't just back off and give them easy throws. At the same time, you don't want to press them so hard they go over the top and beat you deep. So you're playing a tight defense with an idea that you have the lead. Whatever you do, don't let them in the field goal range and give that up.
Maybe tight but not too tight.
Exactly. I mean, it's perfect, right? It's kind of like lacing up your shoes. Get it exactly right and no more.
See if they lace them right. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, that would have been something if he could have saved him from that long distance there in the closing seconds, but it was just not meant to be.
They need a little more time and a little more yardage to give him a realistic shot. And that kick's a good metaphor for this game, isn't it? they're going to wind up a little short in the end.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here with Penny. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.